Well, hello, my friends. It is that time of the week for your weekly Clear Lake, California fishing report. So I'm going to bring it to you guys today from a familiar spot, and I'm going to ask for y'all's guys' help. I am just not figuring out what is going on in the Oaks this year. And let me show you what I'm talking about. You guys see this pipe right over there? Every single year, a giant bass decides to spawn right there. There's concrete steps underneath there, and usually by this time of year there's 4 or 5 big old roamers in here, and a couple of them in there bumping uglies doing their thing. You guys can look back in some of my past videos titled like Love is in the Air, and you'll see the bass right there spawning. But I can tell you, the entire Oaks is just loaded with shad. There's not any dead ones floating around right here. They're actually doing pretty good in here right now. So there's tons of shad in here. I'm seeing them every single evening. I'm graphing them on the graphs, so that tells me there's plenty of oxygen in here. The carp came in here just one day, but for whatever reason, the bass are not deciding to come into the Oaks and do their thing. And all I can think of is it has to be the water clarity, because I've been watching a lot of stuff just trying to educate myself on what a bass wants for spawning. And I mean, traditionally this is heaven in here in the Oaks this time of year, and they just want absolutely nothing to do with it. And no, there hasn't been any spraying going on this up to this point this year in the Oaks. Not a single drop of anything has been sprayed. So I don't know, you guys help me figure it out. What's your theory? Leave me a comment. Let's figure this thing out. But anyway, water clarity. Well, you can see that it's crap here in the Oaks, but lucky for us, that's not the case all over the lake. There's a lot of clear fishable water. Yes, the good news that everybody wants to hear, bass are absolutely on beds, just not here in the Oaks. But there's places, if you're a big bed fisherman, you can come up here and just bed fish all day long and have fun. And now with that said, I urge you guys to please do 100% your best effort to care for those fish when you're bed fishing. You know, I'm a bed fisherman myself. I'll go through and I usually try to not catch the buck, which is hard to do until you get practiced up on it. I'll try to hook that big female one time to get my picture and get her right back there. I never box them because I'm not in tournaments. I'm not a guide, so I don't need the glory photos of a handful of a 30-pound bag. That don't make me better than anybody else. That's just what I do. So just keep in mind that is the future of bass. I mean, those big girls make big bass. So just remember, baby bass lives matter. So please do your best on caring for them. Now, with that said, is that the only thing going on? Absolutely not. The shallows are so full of catchable fish. If you guys are watching some of my videos, you'll see that I'm catching a lot of small ones towards the evening. I'll get out there and I'll chase one big bite, and I'll get my big bite, and you know, I'm happy. One big fish a day will keep the doctor away, so that keeps me happy. And then I'll just start targeting the baby. So I'm going to show you guys what's on deck for this round. Oh, water temps. Boy, I get scrambled. Water temps have been, I'm going to give it an average of about 66. I have not seen 70 yet. I'm seeing low 60s to start, and then, you know, it's been getting up there. I've seen as high as 66, but it's a fairly warm day today too, so it's going to be interesting. I haven't got on the water yet. I'm just being super lazy, and I'm taking a kid fishing tomorrow, so I'm out here just rearranging the boat and tying some stuff on for tomorrow. Hopefully I can get this kid all the way up from Bakersfield on some good fish and make some memories for him. But anyway, I am going to show you guys what's on deck. I got water clarity, seen up to 6 foot. Ross has a great video for you guys to see from up north. And I've got, don't leave too early, because I've got some man on the water stuff from Steve Clear Lake Fishing that's going to share some love with you guys too. So let's just turn this thing around and let me show you guys what's working for me, and then I'll give you a list of what I wish was working, and we'll just go from there. So let's see what we got here. First off, here we go. You got your chatterbaits and your crankbaits. Now the only thing here, I'm still throwing this hitchy shad looking pattern, but my buddy Mark Kim, he is catching a lot of fish on a red and black crankbait. So keep that in mind. So if this one ain't showing you some love, don't be afraid to switch over to red and black. And as you can see on the chatterbait, I'm going with the minnow theme. I mean, red wouldn't be a bad choice on that either. And then, of course, you guys see on my videos, and you can evidently, that is a bait that's getting eaten. That's the CMF underspin with the I always get this wrong. It's Easy Slim Swimmer. That's a Kitech, but I should have pulled the pack out. But anyway, that's that. And then the drop shot. Any dock pretty much has a drop shot bite on it right now. But the secret to drop shotting this time of year is get this puppy up there shallow and up tight to them flooded willows and stuff. You'd be shocked what you can do with a drop shot this time of year. And of course, anybody that's been watching the channel for any length of time knows that I absolutely love flipping a brush hog in the spring. So I'm going with the green pumpkin right now. This has, that might be watermelon candy. Yeah, it's probably watermelon candy. But anyway, I'm flipping the darker water, so I've got a darker profile. And here's the money maker. It's just shocking that, man, this thing can catch you an 8-pounder, and it can catch you an 8-ouncer, and it can catch you a 4-pound crappie. But I'm going with the smaller hook, so I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys an example of what I'm throwing here. I believe that's a 16th ounce, and the owner, that's just a great little sharp hook. And I'm just really liking this bait, so I wanted to introduce you guys to this. But if you notice and you pay attention to some of these baits, this one has the little flukes on the head like the Damiki, so you're going to get that little bit of extra action with that smaller head. So I recommend that little bait right there. And no, I'm not sponsored by absolutely anything you're looking at here. I'm just that guy that likes to share the love and show you guys what's working for me. And you guys will never believe that I actually have a trash fish tied on. Now, I showed you guys on the last video on my Tuesday toad. What I was trying to show you is, see that gap below the trash fish? Normally that would be big enough to stick my big old finger through there. And that will reason you do that, so when you get that bite, it just gives it more, you just have better luck, a better chance of getting hooked up on that big fish. But what this, in my opinion, is just keeping it a little stealth. I mean, this bait's been around for so long, and you don't need to reinvent the wheel, but for some reason I think I'm always needing to try something new, I guess, to make myself feel special. But I've got this 5/0 hook, and I've got that hook bent up to where as soon as I get that bite, I mean, look at that tip is right there. See the point of that hook? It's right there. And I'm having a really good hookup ratio, but I'm just slow rolling that sucker through the flooded brush, and the bite is so much fun you can't hardly put it down. And then, of course, you guys have seen some of the big girls coming on the glide baits. I'm throwing 3 different styles of glide baits. This just happens to be the one that's still on right now, and the only reason I haven't changed this puppy up is because I've got a few 8s on it, and why fix what ain't broke, right? So we got that puppy right there. Then when it comes to evening time, when I want to just load the boat up with the numbers, you just can't beat this A-rig right now. This is the Paul Bailey Finesse Special, and I'm telling you, I've got it hung up like 4 or 5 times. I've sent my lure retriever down there, hooked it and pulled it up, and this thing is still fishing like it's the first cast out of the freaking package. I am extremely impressed with Paul Bailey's finesse A-rig there. But I also fished the Yum Flash Mob quite a bit also, especially for the cheaper ones. That's an excellent bait. So let's get to what do I wish was working. Well, I 100% have my frogs tied on. This is a live target. The reason I love this one is just it's a good open water frog. And you can see I've got the wider belly on that. So here's the part they're selling to the fishermen. Here's the part I'm trying to sell to the fish. So that fish is seeing the white down there. And then I got old Tweety. You know, the gold could be the ticket, it could be the black, but anyway, that's the river to see Tweety right there. And these are baits that, you know, I like fishing this one up in the pockets and on the, you know, the toolies. I mean, any sort of slop or freaking duckweed that you find. I really like that one in the crap, and I love this one in the open water out the face of the toolies and stuff there later in the evening. And double buzz bait is just can be insanely good up here on Clear Lake. And normally I would be going with something black, but we don't have a lot of grass that I'm finding. I just haven't been running and looking for everything up north. I've been avoiding the crowds, so that's why I'm going with the shad patterns right there, fishing that through the flooded buckbrush and stuff where I'm starting to see all these big roamers come in. So speaking of big roamers, I have been getting up shallow, and there's a lot of big girls that are you know, they're just cruising, they're holding up in that brush, they're just working their way through the toolies, thinking about getting set up. I have not seen, nor have I tried to fish for a single bass on a bed. I have not seen one single bass locked up on a bed. And trust me, I probably know 2,000 spots in the Oaks that every year they spawn on, and I've probably checked 200 of them, and not one single fish is there. I've gone through 80% of the Oaks, and I've only spooked 3 bass. So it's just crazy. It's such an interesting thing that's happening this year that I just can't figure out. But I can tell you that you don't have to run up north. You can fish here in the Rattlesnake Arm and have a great time. You can fish in the Redbud Arm, have a great time. You can go up north on all your community holes up there and have a great time. The entirety of the lake, it's possible to have a wonderful, fun time. So don't think that you have to get in there and fight the crowds. You can absolutely get out there and find you a bank all by yourself, and you can figure out a way to catch the fish. But anyway, I just want to tell you guys, I really appreciate you guys that are all subscribed. And if you're not subscribed, do me a favor, go ahead and push that little subscribe button. It's free. It don't hurt a bit. I've talked to friends about it, and they say when they push it, didn't shock them, didn't do nothing. And it does help the channel. It works that freaking YouTube magic algorithm and helps our channels grow. So I know I'm never going to be Greg Blanchard and make my living doing this, but boy, I sure do enjoy it. And I meet tons of people on the water. You guys always come up and say hello to me, and I absolutely love getting to meet you guys and hear your stories. So always feel free. If you see me out there, 100% come up and say hello to me. I promise you, you're not getting away. You're not irritating me. I am happy to meet you, and you are 100% welcome. Especially if you have a kid. Who knows? I might give you a handful of baits. I'm kind of like that. But anyway, you guys remember, when you get up here, treat people the way you want to be treated. 1000% respect that resource. And peace out, baby. Well, hello my friends, and welcome back to the channel. Anyway, it is, I'll just call this Special Treat Tuesday, because look who I just bumped into. My buddy Steve from Clear Lake Fishing TV.
Hey y'all.
How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing pretty good. Catching about as many fish as the dogs, but it's a beautiful day.
Oh man, yeah, you can't complain about the weather, that's for sure. It's absolutely gorgeous out here.
Absolutely, yeah.
So what's the skinny on your fishing? You mind us picking your brain a little bit?
Trying a little bit of everything, and typical to my channel, I'm catching some Dinkelmans, and they're seeming to chew on just about anything. But I got a couple sizes of Senkos here. I got a segmented swim bait, a shaky head, a little punch rig. Now what else I got? I got various types of minnows, trash fish, glide bait, and a frog.
Man, and none of the above, huh? You just catching lots of little fish? Is it a timing thing for you? What are you bumping into?
Little guys. Yesterday I got a hell of a bite on this trash fish. Fought it for, I don't know, 8 seconds, and it shook off. Broke my heart.
Oh no, I love that trash fish bite. Of course, everybody knows that. So I know that you're down from the Redbud Arm. Have you been spending much time down in the Redbud Arm?
Yeah, I spent the last couple of days there. The visibility is not as good as it is here.
Oh, that surprises me.
Yeah, I thought it'd be much more clear. I was kind of at the bottom of the Redbud Arm, over by Cache Creek. You got about 3 foot when you find a good spot.
Wow, that really surprises me, because I've been hearing like 10 and 6 down in places down there.
Well, maybe when you get up more towards the Narrows.
Uh-huh, okay.
Up that far. I figured everything's kind of at the backs of things, so I've been hanging out there. I was absolutely crushing catfish. You know how they love to
The catfish master.
You know, they're definitely hitting it on the bottom. They're hitting it mid-water column. They're hitting it everywhere, and you think you got a hell of a bass for about 2 seconds.
Oh, it's still so much fun, but so heartbreaking, huh?
Yeah, they've absolutely punished some of my gear. My Dobbins 703s are really putting it to those catfish.
Right on. And just for the record, what is the definition of a Dinkelman?
Dinkelman is anything that's like that 13 inches or smaller. So you can catch the kindergarten dinkelmans, which are like the little guys. You can get the middle school dinkelmans, which are getting close to that 12, 13 inch. It's definitely not what you come to Clear Lake for.
Right.
Dinkelmans are fun. That's why I always keep my BFS gear on, you know, a little 4-inch Senko. And
Oh yeah, you're deadly with that finesse baits. I watch every video you post.
so when you get into those dinkelmans, you can tear them up with that, and then you start to feel kind of bad for them, and you let them be. But, you know, it's the time of year where you're going for big fish, so I'm trying
Right.
to throw the bigger baits. And
Isn't it crazy when you know there's 30+ pound bags being caught everywhere, and then you get out here and you'll have a 10-pound bag, but you'll catch 100 fish. It really gets in your head. But hey, you just got to let the fun be fun, is what I tell people.
in your head, I'm starting to get convinced that I'm a catfish fisherman who has a basket. It's driving me absolutely bananas.
Hey, I just tell people I caught a giant bass in a catfish suit.
I put close to 100 pounds of catfish on the deck yesterday. And I was
Holy
giant.
crap!
Yeah, they won't let me be.
That's funny. And what's your dog's name?
This is Roscoe.
Hello, Roscoe.
Hey, he's my right-hand man.
What a good-looking dog.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Well, Steve, I really appreciate you sharing with us, and it was a pleasure bumping into you. And any of you guys that don't know, this is Steve from Clear Lake Fishing TV. Absolutely one of my favorite channels. I watch every one of his videos. And do yourself a favor, go check him out and subscribe.
Yeah, come get on my back deck. Come fishing with me. Love to have you.
Peace out, brother.